Hello, welcome to our weekly film show, and today, much more than aping around, we speak to high-tech acting king Andy Serkis about playing a monkey in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. 45 years on, the official film of the Apollo 11 moon landing is coming out in French cinemas for the first time. And Locke, A Drive to Perfection. Tom Hardy stars in this low-key film set entirely inside a car. And I'm joined here in the studio by our film critic, Lisa Nessleson. Lisa, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. Now, the latest film in the sci-fi saga Planet of the Apes is out. Are you ready for another one of these?
I hear the words Planet of the Apes, and I'm all of my evolutionary faculties are heightened. Yes, absolutely.
So you're a fan of the saga?
Of the saga, yes, with the exception of Tim Burton, unfortunately, made one, which was a huge financial success and fell down on the job in every way it's possible to. The basic premise of the original one with Charlton Heston has never really been topped, and the idea that, you know, apes might have ended up in our position and looked down on us. It works on so many levels.
Well, the star of this film is also the star of some of the biggest films ever made, King Kong and Lord of the Rings, for example. But Andy Serkis is an actor who can walk down the street unnoticed. He's cornered the market on performance capture technology. His latest, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, is out in France this week, and our reporters have been to meet him.
They are going to turn on you. They don't want a war.
Sheltered in the ruins of San Francisco, the apes are in control and living in peace before the breakout of war with the humans. 46 years after the first Planet of the Apes film with Charlton Heston, Andy Serkis plays Caesar, leader of the apes, and he says the unusual role required special preparation.
You have to make decisions as an actor that, I mean, for instance, when I was playing King Kong, I very much wanted to make him a silverback gorilla and studied gorillas very, very vehemently, you know, and went out there and went to Rwanda and studied them at London Zoo for long periods of time. But for Caesar, I based the character on a very human-like chimpanzee who was thought to be a cross between a human and an ape, because that's what he is.
The actor, globally celebrated for his role as Gollum in The Lord of the Rings, is an expert in performance capture. Long gone are the days of simple makeup. Here, captors record the movements and expressions of the actors before transposing them on a 3D image. A controversial technology, but one that Serkis considers liberating.
So technology is just a means by which you can play these extraordinary characters. You don't change the process of acting. That technology is just another way of recording that performance. But what it does allow you to do, it allows you to step through kind of Alice in Wonderland's magic, you know, mirror, and come out of the other side and actually inhabit the skin of an ape or Gollum or you know, a 25-foot King Kong, or you know, and that's the great thing about the technology is that it liberates you.
But that liberty doesn't come for free. With a budget of $120 million, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is a technological powerhouse that towers above most of the competition.
Lisa, it's so amazing to see those images, isn't it, behind the scenes?
It is. The technology is extremely impressive. But if you go back and look at the ones, the original ones in the 60s and 70s, just with the latex masks and the incredibly talented makeup artists, you see the personalities of the actors coming through. It's two different styles.
And it was all started by a Frenchman who wrote a book called Planet of the Apes.
Indeed it was. And no one has really ever topped the initial premise. I mean, and my lifelong hatred of spoilers actually dates back to that. I bought some bubblegum cards in 1968, and it included the one that gave away the punchline to that original movie. So, and just as an aside, I actually received my university diploma from the hand of Charlton Heston.
Wow, incredible stuff. Okay, well, from science fiction to science history now, and the official film of the Apollo 11 moon landing is out in French cinemas for the first time.
Yes, you would think that that's this is something they would have paid more attention to. But by the time they finished making it in 1970, of course, man landed on the moon 45 years ago in July of 1969, they decided that there really wasn't a market for it, that people wouldn't pay for a ticket to see this because they'd sort of been saturated with news about space travel. So it was never really shown, and yet there was this extraordinary footage just waiting to be watched. Very creative, a real-time capsule. Let's take a look.
35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5.
Pack your bags and jump into the car.
And Lisa, this has totally got your pulse racing because you're a bit of an Apollo 11 junkie, aren't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I was born into a world where the moon was just up in the sky and no one had gotten anywhere near it who could walk. And then when I was 13 years old, when the Eagle landed. It was extraordinary. From then on, you looked up and went, "Wow, man, went up." But the movie itself, I mean, I have some personal souvenirs here. This is actually a beaker from the 3 Apollo 11 when we landed on the moon for the first time, Apollo 12 and Apollo 13, and it's like a little lunar module, and you can put Tang, the artificial orange juice that went to the moon with the astronauts. I grew up eating something called space food sticks, which was a sort of thing that the astronauts ate that you could also buy and eat at home. And the movie itself, what's extraordinary about it is they had 240 cameras trained on the Saturn rocket that gave it the boost it needed to get up there to start with. And they only look at the footage if something goes wrong. And since nothing went wrong, they hadn't looked at the footage. And the man who made this documentary said, "Well, may I see it?" And it was just in cardboard boxes. And they had slowed things down in order to check for mistakes so much that it seems as if nothing's happening. The actual launch took 9 seconds. In this movie, they've taken the slow motion footage, they drag it out for 5 minutes, 5 glorious minutes of suspense. We know it worked, and yet you're on the edge of your seat.
And I know that you love a space film. There's so many great ones out there that date back, even modern ones. James Garner actually passed away this week. Very sadly, he was one of the stars of Space Cowboys. That's a great film, isn't it?
It's great fun. It's a Clint Eastwood movie, and it's for old guys who were hot shots in their day, and they have to be called upon to sort of rescue the space program because the young guys just don't have the analog smarts and the initiative to sort of pull things out. So it was in favor of older people, which I have to say with age, I like stories more and more that point that out.
Okay, I'm going to bring you back to Earth now, and Steve Knight's Locke takes place entirely inside a car. Is it as claustrophobic as it sounds?
No, it's not claustrophobic because it's shot amazingly well. It's widescreen. We see him behind the wheel. He's making a series of phone calls, and it's incredibly suspenseful. I'm not even sure how they pulled it off. See what you think of this.
Hello?
Eddie, it's your dad. Is your mother there?
No, she's not back from the shops yet. She's getting that German beer that you like for the match.
Okay, listen, I won't be back for that.
What?
Something's come up. I can't get out of it.
I'm wearing the shirt. Mum's getting sausages. Oh, yeah, and guess what? She's wearing the shirt as well. Oh, Dad, it's so embarrassing. Yeah, what did you say about coming home?
I won't be back for the match. I'll have to listen to it on the radio.
A very low-key film and a big change for Tom Hardy, who normally plays roles that involve headbutting people.
Yes, or, being out to get Batman in ridiculous garb that wouldn't fit into that car, I think. And also he was one of the key members of the crew in Inception. He can't help it if he's got an amazing physique and pillowy lips, but he is, in fact, a trained actor. And what's extraordinary about this is it's a man in a car. His life is sort of falling apart around him. We don't completely understand the contours of what's going on, what his destination is, why he has to be in his car. He keeps calling people up and telling them that they're expecting him, but he won't actually physically be here, but but he tries to talk them through what they'll need to do to stand in for him. And it's done in such a way that we want things to work out for him. And every other character in the movie is just a voice on the telephone. And yet we understand that there are these people in his life who are going, wait, you can't leave me in the lurch like that. And he has to drive, and he has to think about putting all the puzzle pieces of his life together while he's driving a car talking on the phone. It's a great premise.
It sounds extremely mysterious. I have to go and see that one. Now, for cinema fans, Paris has two lovely film festivals going on over the summer where people can watch movies by moonlight.
By moonlight, indeed. There's the moon again. One is in its 14th edition from the Forum des Images, since they all go on vacation for the month of August. They leave people with films that they show in different locations around the city, trying to tie in the movie to the spot where you're watching it. And that will be from July 21st to August 10th. I would recommend Max Ophuls' masterpiece, Madame Deux, from 1953, showing on August 3rd in the 12th arrondissement. And also Alain René's wonderful Same Old Song from 1997 will close that at Invalides on August 10th. And then the other one, you stay put in the same location, and they even give you chairs to lie down in if you like. And that's at La Villette the entire month of August. The theme is adolescence, and we know we're in France because one of the movies is Lolita, Stanley Kubrick's movie from 1962, and it says in the program it is suitable for all ages, so bring your 3-year-old to see Lolita. One I would really recommend, August 13th, is Sidney Lumet's Running on Empty, and also, of course, George Lucas's classic summer movie, American Graffiti. But we'll leave you with another film they're showing, which is John Waters' Hairspray.
Remind us of it very quickly.
Well, this is an interesting thing in the history of film. John Waters, of course, the iconoclastic independent filmmaker from Baltimore, made a very funny movie with the cross-dressing divine as a housewife, and about TV shows and dance shows in his youth. And that was a hit in 1988 with Johnny Depp, and then it became a hit Broadway musical, and then they made another movie out of it with John Travolta playing the divine role. But this is the original John Waters film.
Okay, Lisa, thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to leave you with that. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.
Dance better than all of them. Go ahead. Go.